Imagine my surprise when I found out that summoning angels isn't a universally beneficial practice. And here I was being told growing up that angels were always looking out for us. What a sham. Turns out they're not necessarily looking out for us. It's more like they're watching over folks to ensure they don't sin, and if they do, they're gonna swoop in and cause a ruckus. Coming face to face with an angel is apparently quite the terrifying experience, so maybe think twice before calling one down from the heavens to assist you. So as a service to you, the public, I've put together a list of the top 5 scary angels you should never summon, part 2. Coming in at number 5, we've got the Angel of Death. We'll start off with a no-brainer. If you summon the Angel of Death, you're probably gonna witness some death. Or quite possibly, participate in some death. Whether it's your death or the death of someone close to you or the death of literally everyone around you for miles, there's gonna be some death. Death, death, death. That's what happens when you summon the Angel of Death. Get used to it. By the way, does death sound weird to you now? Sounds weird to me. One particularly egregious example of this large-scale killing comes from the story of Passover. In the Hebrew Bible, there's a tale of a pharaoh who refuses to release his Israelite slaves. God brought about a bunch of plagues to convince him to finally set them free, but to no avail. So instead, the Angel of Death was sent to kill the firstborn sons of Egyptians across the land. If the Israelites smeared the blood of a slaughtered lamb on their front door, the angel would pass them over instead of killing one of their sons. This resulted in quite the catastrophe for the Egyptians though. And that wasn't the worst of it either. Killing all of the firstborn sons of an entire empire wasn't enough for the Angel of Death. No sir. Apparently, while protecting Jerusalem from an invading army, this angel wiped out over 180,000 men in one night. Like, I get it, you gotta protect what you gotta protect, but that is a lot of human death. When the casualties number in the hundreds of thousands, you might want to think twice before summoning this angel. It's like dropping a holy nuke on somebody, insane fallout and all. In actuality, folks don't really know exactly what happened when the Assyrians attempted to invade Jerusalem. By all historical metrics, this invading force should have easily taken over the city. However, there are some theories that don't involve literal divine intervention, including mice and the plague that they brought. So what's the better story though, an ill-timed mice-based epidemic or a swooping, slicing, slaughtering Angel of Death? Coming in at number 4, we've got the Watchers. Now, I'm not so sure if the Watchers were ever summoned per se, or if they just decided to swoop down to Earth of their own volition, but either way, you don't want to encounter this group of angels, or you know what? Maybe you do. There's a few things that they got up to that folks might consider pretty cool, even if they ended up birthing a race of giant creatures that eventually drew the ire of God and got the world flooded. You win some, you lose some. So if you did decide to bring the Watchers down to Earth, you could probably learn a whole lot of cool stuff. And honestly, I've heard that certain people are really into what the Watchers bring to the table in the bedroom. Or I guess the bed in the bedroom. However, these fallen angels are not worth the trouble most of the time. They're known for luring people away from their relatives, their communities, their earthly ties, and having them commit ghastly acts. I won't detail them all because I've got to keep it PG for YouTube's sake, but I'm sure you can imagine what some supernatural beings with powers beyond our comprehension and enough desire to desert literal heaven for some good old-fashioned hedonism might get up to. Oh, I wonder if you could comment this stuff you're imagining, or would that get censored too? Maybe we'll save that for another day. So like I was saying before, the Watchers taught the humans they enchanted all sorts of forbidden knowledge. A Pandora's box moment for sure. Humans were introduced to weaponry, cosmetics, mirrors, sorcery, and more. This doesn't seem all that bad, especially because humans would have probably discovered all of it someday anyways. But humans weren't ready for all of this new mind-altering knowledge all at once. This incredible volume of previously unimaginable stuff really screwed up their brains and made them act in horrible ways. Kinda like how the internet has rotted away a lot of common sense and decency nowadays, but hey. Eventually, with the birth of gigantic monsters, the angels that didn't come to Earth to fornicate with humans decided enough was enough. It was cleansing time. The flood was called and all those who lived on Earth were washed away. Time to start again. So even if having access to Lovecrafty and brain chemistry altering knowledge sounds appealing to you, if you do end up summoning a Watcher to teach it all to you, you might just end up underwater anyways. And not in a cool fun way like Atlantis or a Gungan city, I'm talking concrete shoes off the end of a pier. Coming in at number 3, we've got Abaddon. Both as a place of destruction and an angel of the abyss, Abaddon is nasty all around. Pretty much invariably, Abaddon is a dark pit of doom. It doesn't matter if you look to the Hebrew Bible or the New Testament, it's bad stuff all the way down with this angel. Like, that name literally translates to doom. Let that set the stage. If we leave Abaddon as a place where it is, we can look at some of the terrors brought about by Abaddon the Destroyer. As an angel of the abyss, Abaddon led legions of horrid locusts. These locusts weren't just regular bugs though. They had the shape of horses, the faces of crowned humans, the hair of women, lion's teeth, enormous wings, iron chest plates, and scorpion tails, stinger and all. Plus, if they sting someone with their tail, that person will suffer great torment for 5 months. That is, unless they have the seal of God on their forehead. Holy smokes. All of these details have made Abaddon a particularly popular angel to depict in horror media, from foul fiends in literature to towns of terror filled with entrances to the lake of fire to wildly powerful entities in video games. So while summoning Abaddon might earn you a solid 5 months of hell on earth, it's also kinda cool to see what happens. Weigh your options carefully. Coming in number 2, we've got Uriel. If you like your reproductive organs unsliced, you'd best avoid Uriel. See, there's an old story that makes me wonder about angelic priorities. Moses almost died because he and his wife were lax with a bit of non-essential surgery for their son. In the book of Genesis, the removal of a piece of skin at the end of a particular body part is considered mandatory. It guarantees that covenant between you and God. So when Moses and his wife Zipporah hadn't gotten around to slicing and dicing their son's parts, God sent Uriel to exact swift revenge. According to the story, he was moments away from dropping Moses on the spot, but Zipporah swept in with a particularly sharp rock and did the deed. Casting the bloody bits of their son upon Moses' feet, Uriel accepted this and refrained from ending the man's life. So if you're not careful, you could anger the Lord for something seemingly insignificant and he might send Uriel after you. And if we're being honest, that's not a way anyone wants to go. So when you sign up to be a part of something like that, maybe check the rules and regulations extra close, lest you get put in the ground for not having your tonsils removed or something. And finally at number 1, we've got Jophiel. Widely known as the Archangel of Beauty, you would think that this angel would be cool to summon. Sure, the heavenly beauty might be too much for your human mind to handle, but at least you'd go mad seeing something unspeakably radiant. Here's the thing though, Jophiel doesn't suffer any fools, and we're all fools. Hell, the first humans to ever roam the earth, Adam and Eve, found this out firsthand. After consuming the forbidden fruit and gaining its hidden knowledge, Jophiel was the one to kick them out of the Garden of Eden. Break the rules? Get booted. I don't know if that can be considered tough love, it's probably just tough. So summoning Jophiel probably means that you've recently done something that goes against God's will, and for most folks that is not something they're super enthusiastic about doing. Plus, Jophiel is said to wield an enormous flaming sword, and as bad as that is, you probably don't ever want to be on the receiving end of it. Even though folks love angelic imagery and often take great comfort in the knowledge that heavenly bodies are watching over them, there's a lot to be feared too. When it comes to higher powers, you probably want to avoid summoning stuff unless it's an absolute emergency, you know? So what'd you think of the list? Do you agree with my picks? Which angel would you be totally happy with never encountering? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more persnickety ones from the top 5 demons pretending to be imaginary friends. Duh2042 says oftentimes great horror hides behind pleasant masks. Is that a Keegan original? Because I'd like to quote it. Well, I didn't pick it right out of a book or something, but I'm sure it's paraphrased from somewhere. But hey, if the combination of words is unique, quote away. Knock Namara says the book Violet by Scott Thomas is about a malicious imaginary friend. Pretty good. Always love a good book recommendation. Arx Hellcat says apparently I had some demon ghost boy I hung out with, but I suppressed the memories. Well, tell us more. CYNYDCYNDY says wait, you're gonna leave us hanging like that? Did the dude die when Icy said he was going to? Now I'm gonna be up all night? See, you're gonna have to go and find the guy and ask him, presuming he's still alive. And Michael Hayes says, I dig a hole and most people get thrown a ladder. I get a shovel. You'll get somewhere eventually. And that's all the time we have for today. I'm going to order a ludicrously complicated custom drink during the lunch rush at Starbucks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Pharaoh, who refuses to really see enough desire. Nope. Dang it. Ooh, is this Jophiel or Jophiel? Let's see if I can YouTube it real quick. I wonder if you could, no. Oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm writing here. Humans, nope. What? Oh.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this.
Iron chest plates, scorpion tails with a big skin. No! How did I make that whole sentence in the last bit? I'll just do it again. It's fun, right?
The archangels, and I am here to teach
refrain from ending them at, nope, I'm gonna say that a different way.
Is their guidance, their healing with you.
Come on. Casting the bloody bits. It's a loud plane. Zoom, zoom. It's flying low, eh? Whew.
And also to guide you on your spiritual gifts.
So, what'd you think of my list? Nope.
Archangel Jophiel.
Jophiel. There we go. Alright. Sorry, angelic healer lady. This is not a glowing review. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your... Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of the...